taken for interrogation by Corona police on December 26. Raul admitted to punishing Ricky, but he had no evil intent. At this point, police were notified of the second sibling, who had just so happened to be missing. As they got back to the couple's residence, they discovered Conrad's body, who was 13 years old at the time. It had been kept on the carport of their Corona house, placed inside a trash can that was sealed with plastic and duct tape, then buried in concrete. Conrad passed away following a series of discipline, according to Raul, on about August 22, 2005. He admitted to the police that they created the story of the older gay lover to cover up the murder as the family started to show signs of suspicion. Conrad traveled with the family when they relocated from Washington to California. About this time, they started debating whether Conrad needed to be killed because he had seen his brother's murder. In addition to prior fractures, bruises, and what seemed to be cigarette burns over his entire body, Ricky's autopsy revealed a history of severe abuse. In addition, many external severe injuries were discovered. According to a preliminary statement, scars on Ricky's body were consistent with being whipped with an electrical cord or a similar tool, the statement adds. Ricky's scalp was covered in numerous scars, most of which were concentrated on the back of his head. On the back of his legs, he developed a terrible infection. Finally, it was discovered that Ricky had several circular burns that were consistent with cigarette burns all over his body, and they had been there for at least a few weeks, if not months. Witnesses claim to have seen Ricky being abused by Raul and Kathy. According to reports, Kathy treated Ricky like a personal slave and demanded that he clean up after her and her kids. Authorities and neighbors said that while the couple and their 2 children didn't show any signs of starvation, the brothers did. Conrad's autopsy results were not made available, although it is safe to assume that his body displayed the same signs of abuse that Ricky's did. Raul and Kathy were each charged with first-degree murder and child endangerment, with the additional charge of torturing Ricky before his death. Kathy has claimed that she suffers battered wife syndrome and that she was unaware of any abuse or neglect of either Ricky or Conrad. Despite the fact that Raul has admitted giving Ricky the beating that killed him, he claims that the death was an accident and it wasn't his doing. Their poor claims were rejected by the jury. Both were found guilty of first-degree murder, and the jury favored execution. The marriage of Raul and Kathy was a match made in hell that resulted in the deaths of 2 defenseless boys. Kathy was sentenced to death in Riverside County on June 26, 2009, and Raul was also sentenced to death in Riverside County on July 2nd, 2009. And that concludes this story of Ricky and Conrad, 2 innocent boys who were killed. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks.